Hi there, Year 4. Welcome to our SPAG session. As you can see, we're going to be looking at a new Pentecost skill, so one that is on your Pentecost writing ladder. And it is, can you use noun phrases expanded by adjectives and prepositions? Now you'll see that looks very similar to a skill that you are confident with, which is, can you use noun phrases expanded by adjectives? So we've just added the extra element of prepositions. You should be able to remember back in Year 3 you learnt all about prepositions, and we talk about them a lot in Year 4. If you want a refresher on what a preposition is, then there is a really good Year 3 video on our channel which will talk you through exactly how they are and how to find them in a text. So by all means go and have a look at that first and come back to this video when you're feeling confident about prepositions. I want you to use this just like a SPAG session. You can pause these slides anytime you need to read something carefully or to write any notes in your topic book or your notepad. So if we're ready, we will begin. Beeston, I hope you at the back are sitting upright, and Stapleford, hope you're paying attention. Long Eaton, I can see you are all listening very nicely, sitting upright, ready to go. So a preposition is a word that tells you where or when something is in relation to something else. It can also show the direction, location or time. So in this sentence below us in bold, we've got some prepositions that I would like you to spot. Listen very carefully. The trembling bicycle wobbled as the 4 furry friends jumped on and steered along the smooth road. So there are 2 really good prepositions in that sentence that tell you the position of something in that sentence. I'll read it again. The trembling bicycle wobbled as the 4 furry friends jumped on and steered along the smooth road. Now I really hope you spotted them. Can you write down in your notebooks or your topic books the prepositions you think you've seen? I'll give you a little moment to do that. Don't worry if you're not sure, but well done if you've got something written down. So hopefully you've spotted these ones that I've underlined. If you look at the bottom of my slide there, the trembling bicycle wobbled as the 4 furry friends jumped on and steered along the smooth road. Now we're next going to look for the noun phrase that relates to each of those prepositions. Exactly what jumped on the bike? And what exactly did it steer along? So read that sentence again. Exactly what jumped on the bike and what did it steer along? Now there are adjectives and nouns to find here. The trembling bicycle wobbled as the 4 furry friends jumped on and steered along the smooth road. So hopefully you're writing down a noun phrase with an adjective and a noun, adjective and noun rather, that relates to those prepositions. Well done, Beeston. I can see you've written that down. Brilliant. Excellent, Long Eaton. Paying attention very well. Well done, Sandy Acre and Stapleford. Good. So hopefully you spotted that the 4 furry friends were the things that were jumping on the bicycle and that they steered along the smooth road. So 4 furry friends are the adjective and the noun. On is the preposition, and then we also have along as the preposition, the smooth road being the adjective and noun. So we've used adjectives and prepositions in those sentences. Now, to make sure that they are in a phrase of their own, we're going to put them together. So I want you to try using this noun phrase about the python's tail in a sentence of your own. So my noun phrase is around the rusty mudguard. So we have our preposition around, our adjective rusty, and our noun mudguard. Around the rusty mudguard. So I'll give you a little moment to write that in a sentence of your own. You can pause this slide if you want to have some thinking time. Remember your sentence rules, capital letters at the start, full stops at the end. I know some of you might be forgetting that. Okay, pause this slide if you need to, otherwise I'm going to click on. So here are some sentences you could have used using that noun phrase expanded by adjectives and prepositions. You could have had, the python wrapped his smooth tail around the rusty mudguard. Or perhaps you had, around the rusty mudguard, the python's tail twitched nervously. Or maybe you had, wrapping his smooth tail around the rusty mudguard, python began to grumble. So we've used that same noun phrase at the end of the first sentence, at the beginning of the second sentence, and in the middle of the third sentence. So we've got an expanded noun phrase and we've used it in 3 different ways. So here's a new noun phrase expanded by adjectives and prepositions, and I want you to use it in different sentences of your own. You could try using it at the start of a sentence, at the end of a sentence, and maybe even in the middle. So this is the phrase I'd like you to use. Tiny hissing cockroach in the warm wicker basket. So you might begin with the tiny hissing cockroach in the warm wicker basket. What did it do next? Or you might have some information followed by, said the tiny hissing cockroach in the warm wicker basket. So I'll give you a little moment to use that noun phrase. I'd like you to try more than one sentence if you can, because we're looking at using something in different ways, one of our SPAG skills. Again, pause this slide if you would like to take your time to come up with a few sentences. I want you to use your neatest writing, please. You can see we've got our joined writing on the screen, and that is what I want you to try to do. So, can you use this effectively in your own writing? I want you to try a whole paragraph that includes noun phrases expanded by adjectives and prepositions in a paragraph about the story. I'd like a full paragraph, please, so definitely pause this slide. Take your time. Have a go at a full paragraph. Okay, and when you've had a while to do that paragraph, I want you to read it out loud to yourself or to a family member. Have your phrases created the effect that you wanted? Have you described the animals in a way that suits their characters? So, for example, is the hissing cockroach still timid and scared? Have you described it in a way that gives that impression to your listener or to your reader? Have you described the python in a way that makes it sound a little bit grumpy occasionally, not really enjoying the journey at the start? Have the prepositions you've used made it interesting? Is the cockroach inside the basket? Is the python underneath the undergrowth? Through the undergrowth would make more sense, wouldn't it? Have you include description about the meerkat? Is he peeking above something? Are his furry little paws peeking above something? Have you created the effect you wanted? If not, now's the time to manipulate it, change things, improve things. See what you can alter in your paragraph. Okay, well done. I know it was a bit tricky, perhaps getting used to a SPAG session again. It was certainly a bit tricky for me getting used to teaching one, especially with this new technology, but I am very impressed with myself, very proud, and I hope you are very impressed and proud with the paragraph that you have created. Now I'd like you to try to use that in a mid-write about our story, and you will also find some other skills popping up on these videos soon. Okay, take care. Bye for now.